Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Wendy here again from Little Nest Crafts. I do hope that you're all been keeping well and you've all had a good week. And we're here again. It's Sunday and I'm doing my Margaret Miller Collage Weekly Planner and we are on week 34. And the prompts for this week are, the first one is a place. The second one is something that makes sound in a pattern. The third one is a portion of a blank form. Somebody else's handwriting is the fourth. The fifth is something inspired by a fairy tale. And the last, the bonus, is random marks with paint or a pen. So, as normal, I'll just move these prompts to one side and keep my eye on them so I know where I am. And then we'll bring in my background, and it's the same as normal. My 160 GSM cardstock with a 1 centimetre border around the edge, and then we'll go through the prompts again. So the place that I've got is this little place here, this little island, and it was where I spent 4 years of my childhood when my father was in the forces, and initially we lived in Limassol, which is on the southern coast, and then we were there for about a year in what they call a private hiring, waiting for a house to become available actually on the base. And then we moved down to Akrotiri, which is what they call the Panhandle. That's the Panhandle, but on this southern little tip here. And 4 years of very happy memories, and a life, idyllic really. School in the morning and beach in the afternoon, so it was great. So I've cut out two of these because I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I've got a feeling that this one's going to be a bit too big, but we'll see at the end. And then I've got something that makes a sound pattern. Well, you just have to bear with me a little bit here. I was thinking, because I spent lots of time in the sea, when I was growing up, I thought the thing that leave patterns is the waves from the sea. Obviously they leave a pattern on the ocean as they're coming into shore. You've got the ripples of the water, but you've also got the sound of the waves, and if you record it, it makes sound wave patterns on a recorder. So this is a Japanese print, and it's represents the waves in the sea. So I've took a piece of that, and what I thought I would do is pop it along this side for now. And then I've got a portion of a blank form, which is this little piece here, and it's it looks like a book, like a cash book. So a cash form where people write the date and then write what they've purchased, how much it was, etc., and then added them up and got a grand score, grand total. So and it's just a little piece of it. So I've got that, and then someone else's handwriting. I've got this, and this is another form of another type of form as well. It's a receipt, and on it is examples of people's handwriting. So that's what I've got for there, and I thought I would just going to, I didn't ink around my edges, but I'm not going to put too much on. And it is a faux document, so I thought I would age it a little bit more. And I've got my little aging tool here, just to scuff the edges a little bit. Just to make it look a bit more realistic. And there's lots of ways that you can sort of age your documents to make them, you know, look as though they're a little bit older. Is you can sort of crumple it as well, put a few creases in it, and then with your ink just go over the edges. You can actually tear little bits as well and flip them over at the top, bend them over a little bit and sort of ink them. And you can do the same on the back, but this is going to be stuck down, so I'm not going to ink the back any. And I'll just give a little bit of mark there and a little bit of a mark there. There we go. And I want to snip a little piece off here so it matches the other piece of the form. And then what I'm going to do as well, just to get a rough edge on there, I'm going to tear it with my ruler. There we go. Miss that little bit. And then I'm just going to ink that edge and just along the top a little bit. There we go. There we are. Okay, so I'll just get my runner tape and just run it down the edge just to stick those two together. It gets a bit frustrating when you're trying to position your collages and it starts going all over, moving all over the place. So there we go. Okay, so that's there. And then, so what we'll just recap a minute, we've got something that makes a sound pattern. We've got cypress. Someone else's handwriting is on the receipt. The next prompt is something inspired by a fairy tale, and one of the fairy tales that I used to like, or still do really, when I was a child, is tales about the Little Mermaid, and it was written by Hans Christian Andersen, and I used to have a like a compendium, and it was a Hans Christian Andersen book, and it contained lots of his stories, and you know, I read them several times. So Little Mermaid was one of the ones that sprung to mind, and this is a more modern version of that book, Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales. So I've chosen the Little Mermaid as my fairy tale, and I found this lovely image of some mermaids frolicking in the water, which I loved, because that's what I loved to do when I lived in Cyprus, and it continued for many years after. You know, swimming, I used to swim on a regular basis. So I've chosen that for my image, and I've kept the board around it just to separate it from the background a little bit. So I'm just wondering whether to put it at a bit of an angle. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down as well, just to stop it moving about. There we go. I've got a bit of a crease in it there, but that adds to the effect of the document, I think. So if I put that there, and then my little document behind, and you can still see some of the handwriting. And then I could either bring Cyprus on like that, so if I ink round there a minute, I definitely won't use that one because it's too big. So I could put that down there, and then just to keep the I cut the heading out of the should have made it a bit longer. I might not use that, we'll see. So I'll move my document a bit. Then the other thing I thought of doing was cutting out Cyprus. So I'll do it with this larger one, and we'll just see what that looks like. And keep some of the blue sea around the edges. There we go. So yeah, when I lived in in Cyprus, we used to start school at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we'd get picked up by the school bus, and it drove us from Cwtches, which is down here, around to this area. It was quite a long bus journey. I think it probably took about an hour in the morning, and it was near a place called Happy Valley, and we used to go there swimming with school, and went to school in a school called St John's, which is still there, I believe. And now then, if I move that one out of the way, we'll have a look here. Now then, could do something like that. And then what I did, because it's a sea theme, and I cut out some seaweed and some shells. Now then, I'm just wondering if I could put my starfish under there. And I could do that. And then to hide this bottom of the book, I cut out some shells. And I have got quite a nice shell collection myself, because everywhere I've travelled to, I've collected shells from the beach. And we live near the coast here too, so I've also, got lots from the beaches that we've visited here in the UK. And I do quite like beach combing, getting driftwood and bits and bobs and flotsam and jetsam, as they say, off the beach. So I'll just ink these up a little bit just to hide the white pieces, and we'll have a look, see what it looks like. There we go. So Daisy, just get my glue. So I don't know. Let's have a look, tuck that a bit lower down. That's better, I think. And maybe that's a bit too big. Maybe I could cut the smaller one out. That might be a bit too small though. I liked it because it had got the cypress part there, but I could cut that out anyway. I'm just wondering. I've still got a couple of extra shells. Let's have a look. Yeah, we don't want that, so I'm going to scrap that. And I think we've got enough shells and things on once I've added this one down there. Tuck him behind there like that. And then I've just got my little form. How about if we have the blue one showing? Going up into that corner. I'll cut this little one out just to see, because I won't use it as a full card. There we go. Take that off there. Yeah, I don't know if everybody knows, but Cyprus is divided. There was a war several years back, and it was taken over by the Turkish people, and so this area here is Turkish ruled, and this part is by the Greek Cypriots, and then there's a border that goes across country, and that's manned by the military. And years ago you weren't allowed, you couldn't go across, so a lot of families were divided at the time when the invasion happened, and they didn't see their family for years. But during peace times now you can actually cross the border, and still a bit concerning when you do go across the border, but yeah, we used to go to a little beach along here in a place called Famagusta, and you can go onto the beach and look across through the barriers, and all the hotels are still deserted, and the cars that are on the streets, so you know, back to they've been just left. So it's quite eerie, really. So let's have a look, see what we think about the smaller one. No, I think that looks a bit lost, so I think we'll stick with the big one. And what I will do is I'll cut out this little there we go. And we'll use the large one. And I'll pop it across there. And we'll use this little sign somewhere. There we go. Do something like that. Okay. So I hope that you like that. And what I'll do is I'll pop you on pause while I glue everything down. If I knew how to speed things up, I would just carry on filming. So let's have a peep. Take those two off for now. And just going to ink these. Here. Did I have those there like that? Yeah. So what we'll do is pop a bit of ink, a bit of glue, should I say. So that goes there. gorgeous.